the issue of not scoring runs earlier in the game relates to what our first storyline is about. And I propose a question to you. Based on, we saw a really good pitching performance from Marcus Stroman tonight. He went 7+ and allowed just the solo home run to Dominic Canzone. I don't know if I would put Marcus Stroman in this caliber of arm, but the question is on this first storyline, Lyle. Has this lineup done enough against quote-unquote elite arms so far this season?
So I know everybody's initial reaction to this is going to be no, because the storyline around the team has been the offense through the first almost 2 months of the season and the lack of production that's come with it at times. But we detailed this all out preparing for this show, and you really went into depth about you really went in depth to it a little bit about what they've done against each specific arm that you could qualify as an elite arm and what they've done. I think the issue around the offense is more about what they have or have not done against some of the next tier of arms, the middle tier arms, the mid to bottom tier arms that they haven't capitalized enough against. Against the actual elite arms that they've seen, it's about the rate that you would expect from any team.
I think they've done a serviceable job against elite arms. What spurred this idea? The Mariners looked uncompetitive against Corbin Burnes on Sunday. It was a total mismatch. He chewed them up and spit them out for the Orioles, and that's what an ace does. He goes in, he uses his elite stuff, and he dominates the Mariners lineup, and that's exactly what he did. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 11 strikeouts. That's what an ace does. But if you map up all the other guys that the Mariners, the top tier guys that the Mariners have faced this year, it's really not as bad as you would think. So Corbin, again, 6 innings, 11 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 earned run. Brady Singer, 5 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned. Brady's been awesome this year. Mariners got to him. Mariners ended up winning that game. Against Pablo Lopez of the Twins, 6 1/3, 10 strikeouts, 1 earned run. Lost. Okay. Framber Valdez, they got to him. 5 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 5 earned, just 3 strikeouts. Mariners won that game. Struggled against Chris Sale. 5 innings, 9 strikeouts, just 1 earned. Struggled against Max Fried. 6 innings, no hits, 7 strikeouts. Mariners came back and won because of Mitch Garver's walk-off home run. They got to Zach Gallen, just 5 innings, 3 earned, 3 strikeouts. And again, the Mariners won. Shota Imanaga, they gave to him at that point his worst start of the season. 5 1/3, 5 hits, 1 run, unearned, 4 strikeouts. Mariners ended up losing that game. They got to Freddie Peralta, 5 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned, 7 strikeouts. In a game they lost, but they did their job knocking the starter out. And then Shane Bieber had 6 shutout innings against them. Cutter Crawford had 6 innings and didn't allow an earned run. Those are all of the top tier arms that I qualify the Mariners have faced this season. And if you do the math on that, that is 4 times out of 11 elite arms they've faced this season that they have knocked the starter out and given themselves a chance to win the game. And that's all you can ask for against an elite starting pitcher. That's a little bit under 50%, that rate right there. If you say, okay, 45-ish% of the time you can knock an elite arm off the mound and give yourself a chance to win the game, you're taking that every single time. And that's what this lineup has done so far.
It's been a little more than a third that they've gotten to these elite starters. How many other teams are just knocking around elite starters consistently? I don't think there is many. There's a reason these guys are called elite, because they do not get hit around very often. Now, if the Mariners had had 1 good outing against all these arms in 11 tries, we'd be having a different conversation. But it hasn't been 1 good outing. They've had about 4 in 11 tries. And again, they've hit some good arms. The 4 they hit, Brady Singer, Framber Valdez, Zach Gallen, Freddie Peralta. Those are some really good arms. And the Mariners got to them. They didn't get to everybody, but they got to a few of these elite arms. Again, I think the issue here is now look at what they've done against some of the 3 and 4 starters in some rotations when they're expected to be a lot better and they haven't capitalized. That's more where the talking points lie and should lie. I don't think what they have or have not done against elite starters is the reason the offense isn't where everybody wants it to be at right now.
And the next tier of starters can be anywhere from a good starter to, like you said, like a middle tier, or then just bottom starter. Marcus Stroman, who pitched on Monday, we throw in the good bucket. He's good. Grayson Rodriguez, who pitched on Saturday before Corbin Burns, we put in the good bucket. Mariners did okay against him, but largely he had success against the Mariners lineup. But some of the other times I think of this year, Lyle, Simeon Woods Richardson dominated the Mariners, just crushed them. Nick Pivetta, before he got hurt, pitched really well against the Mariners in the first series of the season. Chris Paddock has been an okay big leaguer, dominated the Mariners. Slade Ciccone, do you know?
I'm going to have to do this for you, aren't I?
Uh-oh.
Ciccone,
okay. Oh, the Diamondbacks? Yeah, he was, remember him? He was shoving.
Yeah.
You say?
I'll throw in another, and I think I have to eat some crow here, because when the Mariners did absolutely nothing against Javier Assad for the Cubs, I said, this dude looks like he should essentially be, I don't know, working at an Apple store or something like that. I was basically like, he's short, he's stocky, he doesn't look like an athlete at all. The Mariners should light him up. No, Javier Assad's actually been really good. Like, ever since that start, it's kind of taken off for him. And he had a good year last year, but he was mostly out of the bullpen. It's taken off for him since then. And the Mariners, again, there's another good starter, maybe not ace, that the Mariners didn't do enough against.
Yeah. Jose Barrios, too.
Yeah.
So all those guys the Mariners faced and were largely uncompetitive against while they were in the game. So, like, that's ultimately where the problem lies. And most people, I think, would agree with us on that. Like, it's facing the next tier down. The Mariners do a good enough job, 36%, I think, is what the rate they give themselves a chance to win against an ace. And that's good enough. It can't also be 36% on the tier below. It's got to be higher than that. Because otherwise, then you'll have more performances like you had on Monday against Marcus Stroman, where the lineup against Stroman largely didn't give themselves a chance to win the game. It was only later in the game against Clay Holmes and stringing together one good inning where they gave themselves an opportunity to win. Sometimes that's all you need, but it's not quite as sustainable as second time through the lineup against a middling starter. Hey, we can get a run or two here. We can get his pitch count up and we can get him out of the game. We can get some of the bad relievers out there and we can give ourselves a fantastic chance to win. And, there's a reason the Mariners haven't done that yet this year. So we put out a clip on Monday from our interview with Ryan Divish, and it was good to sort of go in and rehash what Ryan was saying. And, he's essentially saying how, like, the strikeouts aside, the Mariners' offensive model right now is not really sustainable. They score too many runs on home runs, and it will probably have to come from outside addition. And that, the unsustainability and the inconsistency of the offense is the main reason why they can't consistently beat even these middling starters. So if you haven't seen that clip, go check it out, because, Ryan, as always, makes excellent points when analyzing this baseball team. And it's going to be up to, them in the future to win the crucial games against guys they should be beating.
Right. Hopefully they start to get to some of these starters that they're supposed to take advantage of more. And part of that's going to be the three guys in the offense that everybody expects to be the driving forces being exactly that. Julio's not at full stride. Mitch Garver's not at full stride. Jorge Polanco's not at full stride. I would think those three playing up to the level that everybody expects them to would change a lot for this offense, but we're not going to know until we see it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And ultimately, the reason why this is so important is because when you reach the playoffs and you want to win in the playoffs, those are the kind of guys you're going to be facing every single day.
Mm-hmm. Hey, shout out Marcus Stroman, though. He's the first first starter to go 7 innings against the Mariners this year.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah. I'm glad we can put that stat to rest.